Good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with roll call and make sure you're all logged in, even though we don't have anything on the agenda necessarily this evening.
Then why are we here? Just kidding.
Vote on. We don't have anything we should have to vote on, but just in case.
That's all right.
Correct.
I just liked what I saw when walking.
Mayor LeBar,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Case,
Here.
Councilmember Connors.
Here.
Councilmember Harvey.
Here.
Councilmember Nakai,
Here.
Councilmember Neal,
Here.
Councilmember Zuluaga.
Present.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this evening we have a light agenda and we're going to start with 3A, and that's the Light Bulb Theater, and they have a presentation for us this evening.
Yes, I'd like to introduce this. Does
Sure.
council know Melody?
No?
Yes,
Melody, tell them who you are.
I'm Melody. I don't know, it does not seem to be on. I have a very loud voice. Hello, I don't know. Okay, I'll just go. Hi, I'm Melody. I run the UPass Cultural Center. I've been here since January, so nice to meet you guys. I've spoken to a few of you, I think through email. Kelly, I know you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. So I'm here tonight because UPCC is in desperate need of a new stage curtain. Stage curtains, as I've learned, are wildly expensive, and there's a lot that goes into that. So today we have a local theater group who is Light Bulb Theater, who uses UPCC pretty frequently. They just wrapped up with a murder mystery this weekend. It was on Friday the 13th, which was great.
Awesome.
For the Record, which was written by one of their co-founders, Andrea Keller, so it's pretty cool. But they've been using our stage for a long time. They've been wanting to work for a new stage curtain. And one of the ideas we came up with was a fundraiser for it. So on August 24th, we did a 24-hour play, which in that they wrote 9 one-act plays where it was written, rehearsed, and performed all within 24 hours. Yeah, I can tell you guys can understand how impressive that is. So it's pretty cool. I told them they could stay overnight, but they did not want to. The writers didn't want to do that. But then they came back the next day, and on August 26th, along with sponsor money and ticket sales, we were able to raise $658.25 for the curtain.
Woohoo, very good.
Yes. And as a special treat for you guys, we have Light Bulb here to present to you one of those one-act plays from the 24-hour play. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Light Bulb.
Oh, cool.
all right. Gotta get words on the page. Clever, thought-provoking, awe-inspiring words on the page. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I have 5 hours to write a story. I can do this. I can do this. Oh, now it's 1:02. I have 4 hours and 58 minutes to create art. I can't do this. Hello? Did someone say? Is there the doors to be locked? There's a lock in the name of justice. The legends are true. I see my reputation precedes me. You're inspiration girl. Yes. What? Inspiration girl? The superhero who inspires and gives writers incredible ideas? No, that person doesn't exist. I don't. But I'm Detestation Girl. Detestation Girl, what do you do? What is this place? Oh, this is my hall. I'm actually writing a script right now to present to the city council as a thank you You see, we were actually at the UPass Cultural Center fundraising for a new curtain.
Are you talking about the curtain that's flimsy and green and not up to fire code?
Yeah.
That's great. Did you get something a little more durable,
Well,
or at least isn't green, or maybe is up to fire code?
well, okay, you see, they're actually really expensive, like $1,000, so
How much did you raise?
$658.25.
$600.
No, $658.25.
Well, I guess every penny counts.
Is your superpower insulting? Because you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Look, I have 4 hours and 53 minutes now to write a story, and if you can't help me with that, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
4 hours and 53 minutes. You can't do this on your own. You need someone speedy like Flash or Dash.
Yes, can you get them?
No,
Oh,
but I do have a buddy named Crash.
Crash, well, what good does
Did
that
someone say?
Look, can either of you actually help me?
Well, after Crash.
No, let me rephrase. Can either of you help me write a story or clean up this mess?
No,
Then get out. Hello? Oh, please don't be another superhero. No, I'm just here to clean. Oh, why are you here in this dark room alone? Why are you here in this dark room alone? To clean the building. Oh. Oh, thank God. Do you also know what I should write about? No, I'm just here to clean up this mess, but I'm sure you'll write what you know. After today, I don't even know what I know. That's it. All right. Lights up. A desperate writer with writer's block cries for help. Enter conflict. Enter detestation girl.
We would just like to thank the city council for having us here tonight, and we would also like to present this check from Lightbulb Theater Company for $658.25 to the city of Woodland Park.
$658 and how many cents?
$658.25.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, you guys.
We should have them start everyone's name.
So Aaron, I'm sure you have that in a budget item. How much is this? A curtain?
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, next up, we have item 3B, which is our city cemetery headstone restoration, and Karen is presenting that.
While I transfer to the podium,
Yes.
Cindy, we had something to add to
Sure.
that last question.
I just wanted to reply to you, Councilman Zulaga. We do not have it in the budget this year. However, we're going to continue to fundraise to purchase that new curtain.
No, I was thinking you have the improvements to the cult, but that's out of AAR, not AARP. The equivalent, that retirement fund that.
We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, right.
So good evening, everyone. That is an incredibly tough act to follow, and I don't know what I was thinking when I said, let me do this presentation on tonight. Never mind following that amazing group. So while they were full of life and vibrancy, I'm going to shift to the other end of the spectrum here and highlight some work that's been going on in the Woodland Park Cemetery. While it's not at all directly under the purview of the Historic Preservation Committee and what they are charged with in our charter and regulations. We've got a great volunteer that is embracing all things historic in our community, Mr. Plute, who has been trained in doing headstone restoration and got the members of the HBC excited about this, and they dove into this project. And so I have for you a series of before and after slides and a little bit of an explanation of some of the work that they have been doing. And it was one of our board members, Linda Allred, who put this PowerPoint together. So it's not my own material here. I've got like 2 slides I added, but so as she titled it, a conservation effort to preserve our heritage by the Woodland Park Historic Preservation Committee. And so our committee itself is made up of 5 members. Lori Gloth is the chair. Larry Black is our Past Historical Society member. Then we have David Langley, Linda Allred, and Eric Simonson. Frank Connors is our council liaison. And then the volunteer who is really the driving force behind this project and some other things we have going on is Steve Plute. I didn't know what else to phrase him as other than historian extraordinaire. And then in your city staff level here, you've got me in the planning department, and on my team, Dory Slaughter, our permit technician. And then with her imminent retirement, our code compliance specialist, Bert Warshall, is going to be stepping into providing support to this board. So very glad to have all these folks participating. And so this is the first example. On the left, you can see the headstone as it was when this group found this or started this project. And you can see on the right then what it looks like in a restored situation. So the headstone had sunk over 30 inches over the decades. It's got a beautiful marble base sitting atop this hand carved rock base, and it's now all fully visible. And nowadays in cemeteries, often a foundation is required. So you'll see a concrete slab poured, and then the headstones are placed on top of that. Part is to provide that larger base to minimize that sinking over time. So because the cemetery dates back to 1891, with the first interment happening around 1893, things happen over time. So 130 years later, it does need a little love and care. And so with each of these slides that Linda had prepared, she tried to identify who it was that was associated with these different headstones and their a little bit about their own personal story. So with this one, I don't quite understand all of her terminology. It was early homesteader and rancher here at Edlow. And this is one of the sad facts of life, that occasionally very young babies and children don't have a very long life. So this was a headstone for a baby that was only about 15 months old when they died of pneumonia in 1899. And a lot of times the headstones do not sink uniformly, so they get tilted, which then creates an opportunity for easy tipping and other vandalism and such. So you can see again here the before and after slide for the restoration work that had happened. This is Francis McGregor he lived from 1850 to 1901. And another situation where they squared and straightened it and got it very much cleaned up. And he was a Czech American educator, translator, historian, writer, and teacher. Excuse me. And it was this is my favorite part. It was also a dedicated feminist and suffragette. George Washington Saunders. He was here in Woodland Park from 1833 to 1900. And another situation where the headstone had sunk and was cockeyed. So this is the cleaned up, new and improved version. So very much providing a nice, dignified, respected memory of his life here in Woodland Park. William Creed Saunders. This is the first picture here where we look at what they call biologicals that fill in or attach themselves to the stone. So that's things like moss and dirt and debris. And that stuff can get filled with moisture that can then potentially cause cracking of the stone, as it potentially works its way into some of the stones. So getting that cleaned up and removed definitely helps with just the readability of the stone and then its long-term viability. Oh, and I'm sorry, that one, I believe it just said, oops. Let me to the back one. Hang on. The son of George Saunders, William was our Teller County Commissioner back in 1900. I thought that was kind of a fun trivial fact here. Alice Saunders was the daughter of George W. Another case of, you can see the biologicals in a lot of detail there on the left and how nicely that stone gets cleaned up. And then Andrew Hackman.
House.
Yes, as in the Hackman House. As Lyndon noted here in her presentation or things that she put together, that it was a concern that, this was very much leaning to such a degree that it would not have taken a lot to topple this over. So it's nice to see it put back in place. And on the right side, you can see some of the equipment in terms of transits and lifts that need to be used sometimes to reset these stones. And they had estimated this at 450 pounds. So that's not light. And there we have Norman and Diana Turner. It's a 250-pound stone. And that one actually had been toppled off its base, as you can see on the left. And then the footstone was broken in half. So they actually did the restoration of that footstone and then got that all reset and leveled and square again.
Karen, was that the one that was hit by a car?
No, we're getting there. Because there's a lot more detail on that. So it's a lot of Spielman. This was her headstone. And you can see again just that sinking and how important that foundation potentially is for setting new headstones and new graves. She was the first wife of Louis Spielman, and I guess the Spielman family is long-standing family here.
There's the Spielman tract, part of the development here in the main part of town.
So. And then Paul and Annie Hathaway. So this is not my expertise, so I apologize. I'm going to read here with you. Furniture maker, designer, and metal sculptor. And some of their sculptures have been purchased and are in other parts of our area. Evidently, there's one down at the Colorado Spring Fine Arts Center, the Colorado Springs City Administration, and then National Bank, and then the cities of Manatee Springs, and I guess there's some here in our community as well. And this is the one that was damaged in an automobile accident here in late summer. So you can see it really was obliterated. So here's the part of the headstone and then some other pieces. And this is where they provided some pictures about a little bit more about what was involved, that the broken headstone was secured in a metal frame and put back together using very special epoxy exclusively for granite memorial repair. And then we got Linda on the left and Steve Flute on the right, doing some of that work on that particular headstone and the equipment that they used to do that. And this is a lovely after picture showing that the stone's back in place, using the special mortar design for headstones. The seam is apparent here in the lower left corner. I loved her feedback here that the Hathaway family is describing it as a battle scar. And any of us who have lived for any length of time know that we acquire scars throughout our lifetime. So obviously that doesn't stop, but it's a beautiful job to get that put back in place. And then wanted to note through all this that to date, this is not all of the stones that they have done. They've done about 12, and this presentation highlights the ones with the more significant repair work. And then this next summer, they plan to do some more work. They're estimating about 6 or so. in the pioneer section of the cemetery that do require some time and attention. With the exception of the stone we're looking at now, everything was done with volunteer hours. And the sand and gravel that was used was donated by AC Concrete of Florissant. And the remainder of the supplies, the epoxies and such, came out of the city budget. It was about $300 for that little bit of materials to do all of this work. And there's still leftovers to take care of some things next year. And then the actual equipment, like the tripods, the rigging and stuff, those were provided by Steve Blue. So this is just another photo here that shows that headstone, and then the sculpture that was the inspiration for the design that showed up on that. So that was kind of a nice way to show how sometimes these headstones are more than just a memory of a family member, that they're potentially a work of art or capture other aspects of somebody's life. And so thank you for this. And then a short commercial that we have a variety of committees and boards here in the community that we do need other volunteers to serve as alternates on Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment, and I think Board of Review. And while Mr. Plute is not an official member of this board, it's a great example of how somebody's passion can provide a wonderful contribution to our community. So how we leverage and embrace our volunteers. Sometimes I think we can end up with very beautiful results because of that. So just thank you for your time and attention this evening.
Hey Karen, I got a quick question.
Sure.
Do you know who owns the cemetery adjacent to the Shining Mountain Golf Course?
That is a not clear thing by any stretch of the imagination right now. The Historic Preservation Committee, as we're looking at work plans, does have an interest in doing some restoration work there also, since the cemeteries do reflect our history as a community. And as part of looking at a plan for restoration of that, that's one of the things we want to clarify is who is the real owner.
Okay.
And it's murky at the moment. So it's potentially going to take some finances and some title work to perhaps clear that up.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Karen. And thanks to Steve. We're lucky our community has him and all of our real volunteers. Okay, so we don't have anything else on the agenda other than on item 6. Do you have anyone signed up?
I do. I have, our first speaker this evening is Tim Northrup.
Good evening. My name is Tim Northrup on Golden Court. Thank you, Councilwoman Harvey, for trying to help me understand what an IGA is. When I think of the word IGA, it reminds me of the grocery store when I was in town when I was a kid. The school district IGA is something very different, though it does have some meat in it. The only problem is the new meat that was in the proposed IGA is rotten. There are new sections with wording added to the IGA that are inconsistent with the ballot language. Councilman Neal would be interested in this, being a wordsmith that he is. Section 4 is supposed to be a copy of what is in the ballot of 2016. The ballot language states to be used exclusively by Woodland Park School District RE2 for educational purposes, including, and then the ballot lists some of the items that the taxes would be used for. But section 4 actually just states that the district agrees to spend the proceeds of the city tax for the following educational purposes, and then lists those same items. But with that wording, those items are all that they can spend their taxes on. So the ballot language actually has a broader definition of where the money can be spent versus the new section 4 of the IGA. Also, section 5 of the IGA demands that the district provide detailed accounting by July 15th, and then personally in the following council meeting. This is not needed. The school district in 2016 started reporting back to the council the amount of taxes received, where it was spent, and continues to do so. And if the voters want to find out more about where the school spends their money, they can ask the school board, just like they can ask for financial information at the, the library board and the fire department board. So these added sections of 4 and 5 to the IGA just seem to me like heavy-handed micromanagement, government overreach. So just get rid of section 4 and 5 and we'll be done with it. We haven't needed those sections in the IJ for the last 6 years and we don't need it now either. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our second speaker is Debbie Miller.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to come and share with you. I received this about 55 minutes ago. It's an update with what's going on with the Teller County ballots. They've confirmed with the vendor that all the ballots are scheduled to be mailed by the deadline, which is Friday, October 20th. They're working with the U.S. Postal Service to expedite the mailing. Voters can return their voted ballot by mail through October 30th or at a drop box voting center until 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 7th. The Secretary of State's office was on site today for support and believes all the processes are being handled in a manner that will support the integrity of the election. One of the things that's new, they're reporting out tonight is voters in Cripple Creek in the Victor School District, RE1, did and have the correct ballots. So they're urging everyone, don't discard those ballots if you're in the Cripple Creek Victor District RE1 school district. There's been concerns about the school board races only write-in lines, and that's again with the RE1. There are eligible write-in candidates for these positions. Write-in candidates' names will not appear on the ballot, but you can call the county clerk's office to get those qualified candidates. They want to reiterate that the process of the preparation and mailing of the replacement ballots is at no cost to the county. As a reminder, affected voters will receive an insert. So when you get your new ballot, there will be an insert with the replacement ballot. The insert will contain information concerning the replacement ballot and what to do with the initial ballot. Of course, if you have any questions at all, you can reach out to the Teller County Clerk and Recorder's office, but we wanted to get this information out, get it on the record that they are continuing to work with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
No other speakers.
All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and move all the way up to reports. I just have a couple of dates to announce. On the 21st of October, the Teller County Public Health is hosting a community health fair at the Ute Pass Cultural Center from 9 a.m. to noon. And you are able to get your flu shots there as well. And if you have any questions, you can call Teller County Public Health at 719-687-6416. And then, let's see, this coming Saturday, the 21st from 6 to 8 p.m., we have the Pumpkin Dive at the Aquatic Center, and it's a $10 entry and it includes all supplies. Then we have on the 27th of October, Trick or Treat at Memorial Park. That'll be free entry and a candy bag, and you can go around to different vendors and different community members. They'll have candy there for your trick-or-treaters. There's also costume cornhole on Friday, the 27th of October from 6 p.m. Starting at 6 p.m. It's at the Ute Pass Cultural Center. It is $75 per team of 2. That includes 2 drink tickets and a set of 4 custom cornhole bags. You do have to register, and you can register online. And we also have Bark in the Park on Saturday, the 28th of October from 1 to 3 p.m. That's at the Golden Meadows Dog Park. And that's free, and bring all of your 4-legged babies in costumes if you can. So that's all I have. Councilmember Case.
Thank you, Mayor. That is the Hollowpalooza event for all those things the mayor just mentioned. Awesome. I have nothing else. Mayor, thank you.
Councilmember Neal.
I have nothing.
Councilmember Zulawaga.
I don't have any reports this week.
Councilmember Nakai.
I got nothing.
Councilmember Connors.
I have 3 things, Mayor. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Important stuff here. The first thing I'd like to thank is the people who are involved with the Historic Preservation Committee. Yesterday completed the exterior inspection of all our city historical buildings, so that went very well. So I appreciate the people who were involved in that. On Monday, October 23rd, from, it's on the screen, 10 o'clock in the morning to 11:30 is at the Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services. Can't say that 3 times in a row fast. That's going to be held on Monday, October 23rd from 10 to 11:30 at the ranch, just located just past the golf course on the west side of north of 67. And then on Tuesday, the 24th of October, we have the American Legion meeting again at 7 o'clock at the VFW Hall on Highway 67. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. Councilmember Harvey.
Nothing.
All right, so before we adjourn this evening, I do need, we are having an executive session and I'm going to need a motion for that. So I'm going to just hand this to Councilmember Case to read the motion in. Oh,
I was gonna say city manager.
oh, yeah. You guys have anything?
I'll wait. Go ahead.
Aaron's feeling left out.
Oh,
I'm already ready.
you've heard enough of me and I get that totally. Does council wish to have a work session at our next meeting to go over anything else with the budget?
I don't.
Are
Based
we,
on
are
where
we
we
good
left
to move?
it, I think we probably should have one more discussion. I mean,
I'm good.
I agree. I think we should have a discussion.
I mean, we need a consensus. So I would say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes to having a work session?
I think so. Yeah, it's not gonna
But
hurt.
there's only 3 of us saying yes. So.
I'll say yes. I do have a couple of questions that
I do
would
too.
probably be best answered in a work session, so.
Perfect, okay. All right, then we'll have one.
I'll send you my question.
Excellent, okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah, and if you have any questions, if you could please send them to me and we'll be prepared. All right, the second item we have is a discussion and presentation on the cog cart tonight. And Kristen is going to lead us in this, so thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. you told me.
She's been doing some good stuff.
Good evening. I am here to talk to you about the relocation of the cog train car known as Myrna. There we go. A little backstory for anyone who may not be familiar. The Carter family contributed an in-kind donation for relocating the cog train car up here to Woodland Park in 2019. The train car was memorialized after the Carter family's matriarch Myrna in 2021. The train car currently sits on 6 acres, once owned by the DDA, now being developed as Tava House. The condition for the land sale to Tava was to relocate the train car, which is why I'm here to talk to you today. The goal of the relocation is a new location that will honor the history of the train car, a peaceful closing with the Carter family, and offer an aesthetically pleasing and accessible location for both community members and tourists, comparable to the original location. The DDA has proposed a location which is in the green space bordering the cultural center and the library. This location offers ample parking, and this location can combine programming efforts with the UPCC and the Rampart Library District. There are concerns to address with this location. It's predicted that the best location for the cog car in this space is in the parking lot, which may result in reduced parking. So that location would be kind of dead center in the parking lot directly between both buildings. Additional costs for grading and preparing this space would be necessary. If you go and look at this space directly behind the parking lot, the slope of that hill is pretty significant. So our engineering costs may be greater in that space. Accessibility concerns. This green space does not offer much for accessibility accommodations right now. The sidewalks have stairs and things of that nature, which could limit who is able to view the cogged car in that space. This is the flyer that the DDA has put out to showcase that location. The city has gathered a few considerations for you. The first being the west lawn of City Hall. So that would be the lawn facing the post office. The city is proposing relocating the train car to the west lawn bordering Pine Street. This location allows for easy accessibility by all citizens with existing sidewalks and flat green space. The location offers ample parking in both City Hall public lots as well as street parking, and the location already has power to the site. But concerns for this location may include the green space currently houses a historical wagon. It's the green wagon right at the corner. We would have to relocate this wagon, and we're suggesting that the wagon could be put basically directly on the opposite side of this wall here at the entrance to City Council chambers. This location could also potentially house the accessory building from Bergstrom Park, leaving 3 sides of the structure accessible. There we go. So this is a mock-up of what that could look like. I am not an expert here at this, but I did my best. I'm a visual learner, so I appreciate the tools of this nature. So hopefully it helps someone else. It is not, but I was asked that question earlier today. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so the second location the city is proposing is a Centennial Trailhead. The relocating the train car to the west lawn board, or excuse me, I'm on the wrong slide for myself. There we go. This location offers the following amenities. Power is available at the site, but will require a finishing connection. There is ample parking in the lot and along Walnut Street. The intended area for the cog car is flat and paved, easing engineering and logistic concerns. Accessibility is also greater at that location. It's flat, it's a paved lot, and there are city sidewalks for pedestrians already in place. Additional benefits to this location. This location could serve as a gateway marker on the north side of the community. Currently, there's nothing really substantial welcoming anyone in from that side of the community. This location has a historic cabin on site, which is currently not being used. In the future, it's possible this could serve as a visitor center or even a micro museum focusing on local history. This location is also connected to the Centennial Trailhead. With the addition of the cog car, it could easily be marketed as a true destination for Woodland Park. It offers incredible views of Pikes Peak and is walkable to several area businesses, which can also help attract travelers. So this is my lovely markup of this side. So it will not be in that
It's right in the
location.
middle of the
This
park.
is a little bit better to show you. So it would be on that one
just like
open side there. This just gives you an idea of the whole lot. So you would still have parking and walking space on all other sides. Yes, I did. No, but I had a few people ask me if I needed help while I was standing in random places taking pictures. So at least we're looking out for each other. Additional considerations, the city is investigating the viability of 2 additional site locations. Should those be determined as options that do not present significant engineering or logistic concerns, they may be presented at a later date for council and public consideration. So this is what we wanted to show you today to begin engaging the public on what to do with our cog car.
Thank you.
Question.
Yeah. Are you going to do something on the website in terms of getting public input about the different options?
I will be utilizing a lot of different tools for community engagement. So it will be pretty comprehensive, and my best efforts to reach those who have a great online presence and those who also don't in our community.
Awesome.
Have you asked the Carter family which one of those 3 options they would like?
I have not. So this was something recent that we developed, and there's still a little more work to do on the city's end.
You might want to give consideration since we are asking them, the city's asking them.
Correct, I would agree with you.
That we're moving it. What is their number 1 choice, and weigh that,
Yes.
appropriately based on what the citizens input in the surveys.
I just recommend that it be put someplace where it at least can be utilized.
Yeah.
Out front of City Hall is kind of worthless. And also it's like, it's not, it's a history of the region, but not of our city. And so to put something in front of City Hall that doesn't really have anything to do with our city is kind of odd to me, but
Well, and I would say that on the odd chance we actually need that land later to expand City Hall, we
Yeah.
don't need to move the car again.
We
right.
did discuss that concern with the city engineer, and he's quite confident that regardless of the plans for City Hall in the future, that we would be able to secure that as a permanent location.
The idea, the space up above the cultural center there really lends, because of the activities that go
Yeah.
on there and I mean, there's always people around there. That makes, I mean, we could use it for, I don't know, all kinds of different things and put power to it and access to it and maybe, I don't know, heck, we could make it a coffee shop. I'm just kidding. We have plenty.
Except,
Number 18.
right? Well, we could
Ice cream
do,
shop, you know, there's a lot of great ideas that might facilitate and it's got all those amenities there.
yeah,
And it's interesting because the hillside's been there for a really long time and now it needs engineering. Interesting.
Only to put the cog car there so it'd be flat. It's
Oh,
not,
up there?
yes, yeah,
Not in the parking lot.
Correct.
yeah,
Oh,
it
I
would,
don't
it
know
would
about
be,
that.
it would be cool, but it would be quite an undertaking. That's
Yeah.
why.
I don't think that, I think we should put a parking lot.
Yeah.
Between the two buildings.
Well, we'll do the community engagement. That's the point of
Okay.
the presentation tonight is to get
Sure.
approval to move
Yes,
forward
so
yes.
with,
We
yes,
hope
okay.
to garner a lot of feedback from the community.
Excellent.
Um,
I think it's a great idea. Thank
sure
you.
thing.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you.
Is there anything further from city manager or staff?
Suzanne, do you want to give?
Real quick, we failed to mention one event. I'm gonna ask Debbie to just brag on this
Sure.
event for a moment. She can do it better than I can.
I don't know what we'd do if you weren't here.
Thank you. I want to talk about, it's one of the first times that this will not fall on a city council evening. But Thursday, October 26th is our Chamber of Business Expo at the Ute Pass Cultural Center. So I would encourage you, it's always been on your council night, so we'd encourage you to come and enjoy.
Thank
be
you.
there.
And then council this evening, just a quick election update, the events that are going on with the election on December 12th. Believe it or not, the ballots are going to go out next week for the overseas ballots. So that's for our military people, our missionaries, our people that are living abroad. We get a separate ballot for them. It's different. It's the same questions, just different envelopes. They get to get it earlier than our other residents do. And those will be going out next week on Monday or Tuesday. And if council will recall, those ballots also get special consideration. They get to come back within 7 days after the election. So as council again will recall, if the election, we're sending about, I think the number is 68 of those overseas ballots. So on election night, if the difference is lower than 68, we won't be able to call it because we have to wait for them to come back. And so that's happening this week. The second thing is our ballot's been proved. It's been approved. Every question is on there. No question has been eliminated. And so that's all taken care of. We are working on what the residents have come to know as the Blue Book. We have different and parties working on it. We have the petitioners, the Citizens Initiative petitioners. We have some council members weighing in on their ordinance, and we're pulling together this Blue Book. And then the final thing is that the ballots to the residents will be mailed on November 20th. They'll start being mailed. If council remembers, they don't get all mailed on the same day. They get mailed in batches. So they'll start on that Monday, which is 11/20, and over the course of the 3 days, they'll get mailed out to the residents. So that's just a quick update on the upcoming election.
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Only one question with that. Are we using the same printer that
No,
Sally
we
County
use-
used?
Stop. We have a different vendor.
Be careful, be careful, be careful. You could be in that seat one day.
Same post office printing is not my deal.
I feel for them. I really feel for them.
I do too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we need a motion to move into executive session.
Mayor, I make a motion to move into executive session. A motion to move into an executive session pursuant to CRS section 24-6-402 4E to determine positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing a strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators regarding land acquisition for the purpose of open space.
I'll second.
Thank you. Labar,
Yes.
Case,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Zulawaga,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Connors.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is approved.
Thank you. We're going to adjourn to the upstairs room for the executive session.
And then Mayor, we'll adjourn this meeting because we won't come out for any further business.
Right. Very good. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have.
Tim.